Welcome back to Stationeers, episode 7 of my playthrough of the moon on the new terrain system, world timing 0.03, so we have 200 instead of 20 minutes day-night cycle. So I built 3 deep miner outposts. One of them is fully automatically smelting everything already. This is the second one that I'm trying to expand to that level. The third one only has the miner and an insufficient solar panel like this one. Next goal for this here, it's not yet noon. Noon is when they're pointing right to the sky, is to continue this here so that it has the cooling system and the wall heater and the airlock and some gas in there. For the airlock I will need the the powered vents, and well, those need a material I don't have, so I guess first out of business, smelting. Let's see, I stopped the previous playthrough at some point. Is it the time? Do I have to leave some things here and run around? Or let's see. Looking good. And we now have here the iron copper silicon station, the gold silver station, and the med station. So the outlook for this this episode, and possibly also the next one, I mean this one today will hopefully be a bit longer than yesterday's, which was 2.5 hours only, I guess 3 hours maybe 3.5 today, is that I will indeed complete that station like I already did with the other one in episode 5, only probably a bit faster because I don't have to figure out so many things, and it will probably not build in the wrong direction so much. And on the other hand, I have to prepare some materials because last time I was blessed with having everything that I could then use to print. And well, then to do that with the third station also. What does the third station have? I don't remember. I think it was a nickel and something. Certainly welcome stuff. Oh, look at this. This station is well supplied.
Jetpack low.
Okay, it's a bit tricky to keep stock of the resources that I have because, frankly, I have not been orderly. And at some point I need to change that, and I don't know how exactly. And well, now daylight is wasting. I would like to heat up the room with the wall heater to like 15 degrees or something using the source code that I already have from the other station, but I doubt that I can set it up to that level because first I would need the respective, yeah, these guys, and for that I need electrum. Oh, invar and electrum. How much invar do I have? Invar, I have enough for this, so I only need electrum. Well, then just make the electrum, I guess. How much solar do we have? Here we have 80 grams, which is a good amount. And here we have none. 10 grams. It's really chaotic here. This guy still doesn't show what it has inside without you having to turn it on, though that might actually be the normal thing. Yeah, solder I could also make. Let's also make solder. For that I need iron. So, do I have what it takes? Which is some space on me. Yeah, well, I guess for the smelting I can just pick one of these guys. That will be the electrum, and then we also need the solder. I'm sure that I have some lead somewhere here, for example. No. Yes, no. Iron. Good. That's what I need for the solder. Just trying to see what else I have. There's more lead there. Okay, so that's disorderly. And now I need the smelty stuff. Do I still have the belt for that? No, so then it's this, I guess. This. Damn, this? Yeah, I really need to sort this out. And ultimately then when this is done, my problem will be that the furnace will cool down and cool down and cool down again, and then this pipe, maybe this pipe if I'm lucky, could also be this, will burst again because I was stupid. I could put a, what's its face? Actually I should. Let's set a passive liquid drain on that thing, because the pollutant I don't want to keep around anyway, so why not just get rid of that via phase change? Instead of, you know... Instead of having to pump that through the filtration, which tosses everything away that doesn't happen to be CO2 or nitrogen. So, this will not happen this time. Is everything closed? I would assume so. Then let's... I need my hands full. Aha. First, the electron. Temperature way too low. I wonder if I have a problem here. Oh, what's this? Ah, I hadn't yet ignited. Okay, that's fine then. I have the right pressure for electrum? Not for long. La la la. Okay, now that we have the right pressure for electrum, so the electrum question has been solved. Otherwise, I can now immediately start printing.
Jetpack low.
The dudes and dudettes. I made already one, which is
hydration critical.
Powered vent. That would print too many of them. Invar. Well, then print too many of them. It's not like I'm not gonna need them. Meanwhile, you and I will be talking about solder. It's closed, yeah, it's always awkward. Smelty, smelty. And now the mix comes into play, and suddenly it's no longer green. How cold is it? Oh, it's fine too, man. Are we on a roll, huh? There was 2 volatiles and 1 oxide. Bap. Okay.
Jetpack low.
Let's print 3 more. And this is empty? Good. Afterwards I would need a wall heater. 5 and 3, that's 8. But I only need 4 now. And this material will be needed, and maybe I need to refill my power. Welder. Heater. Active vent for the cooling system. Do I have a sensor for the airlock? I do. I have a sensor for the indoor stuffs too. Then we need a pipe analyzer. And some radiators, which I think I also still have 1 or 2 of. Do I not? I thought I had. Did I use all of them up? Oh. Well, that's radical. Need more gold. There is more gold. Wait, 500 grams? No! That's too many grams. Let's make 4. 4 should be enough for the little thing that I want to do. Actually, let's print a few more, because I only need 4. What? For the lockup, to keep some in the lockup. Then we will need pipes. Non-insulated pipes. Definitely more than these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pipe. Pipe cowl also. How many? How did I solve it with the other station? Did I use a passive vent indoors? I think so. Yeah. That was a passive vent, and I think I still have one. Here we go. Though I want to keep that around in case I have an overpressure event. I can just slap that on the wall. Which feels like a cheat, really, because you put it on there, then you have a hole in the wall. Then you have released enough pressure, then you remove it again from the wall. That's not at all how it would go down in reality. So, Steam Summer Sales, it's I just purchased TerraTech Worlds and took a short look at it for 5-6 minutes, and that looks promising. I played the first one too, also for a couple of hours. I don't know how long exactly. There's certainly more playtime in there, I know. I sound possibly like a snob, but you know, somehow, well, the most negative perspective you can possibly have is not the correct perspective, and that's hopefully not a weird notion to you. Even though I so often invite the most negative perspective, I know, it's magical, isn't it? Somehow? How come? So, passive vent, we would need a console. Iron and copper. I'm sure I have copper somewhere. I even have glass on me. It's a miracle, basically. Did I just stutter when I said miracle? That's weird. It's a normal thing. It's technology, man. Just technology. Okay, let's go build. How much oxygen do I have? It should be enough for a trip. Else it's gonna be
Oxygen
quite a
low.
trip.
Low
No.
pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical.
Yep.
Temperature critical.
Meanwhile, and the ones who actually watched the previous episode know, the other station is already producing silver and gold ingots into a silo, and each of these ingots has the maximum size, 500. And this one will do the same when it is done for iron, copper and silicon. Particularly keen on the copper because I've been digging up copper a lot during this playthrough so far. And once I have like several 500 ingots, 500 size ingots of copper, I will certainly make a locker or something of this to that effect that will be full of cables. Just full. And then I won't keep it stored because why? I make it full of cables not so that I have a full locker, but so that I can use them mindlessly until I should mind again.
Jetpack low.
Alrighty, let's set up some things. I'm not sure how I did this prior. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can just do it new and different. I had a area power controller was part of this gig. I think it was like this. And this guy would get its power from the right. And after everything here is said and done, I will actually make sure that the IC-10 will be powered not by this battery of batteries, but instead by the area power controller. Wicked and ridiculous as it may sound. So maybe I should continue with the building here before I recable things. Ah, no electronic parts, damn. Ah, I knew I forgot something. Did you?
Jetpack low.
Yeah, it's in my earlier life. I knew that, now remembered. Okay, what was the plan here again? I think I wanted to stick out
Filter low.
the pipe into the ceiling. On the outside, 2 pipes, on the inside, 2 pipes. Radiators. And then we go around the corner. I forgot the passive liquid drain for the purposes. Something like this was it, I believe.
Jetpack low.
There's actually a flashlight in the game where you can adjust the brightness in 2 steps. Or 3 technically. Off, low and high. High consumes more power, of course. But what I found in the game Space Mechanics Simulator, yeah, is that why not have a flashlight that you can adjust freely? That is pretty awesome. That would be an actual gameplay element. How high do I tune it? Can I still see the cables when I shine my light on it? Will I save battery? Will I fall into a hole? That's pretty cool. Too bad they don't have that here, and I think it would be very easy to make. Not from scratch, obviously, but once you have all of this, should be a joke. Okay, what is the next step? I would have to complete these guys. I forgot the doors again, so I need to bring cables, electronic parts, and doors. Can actually put the heater on the wall already. Here or here? I think it was here. Well, like I said yesterday, I'm hopeful for this week. Cannot say exactly what I mean by that, like I also said. Gas sensor. And here I also need a gas sensor. I think I put that on the floor somewhere, I don't know where. Maybe here. We'll see. Well, did I put that here on the wall? No, I wanted to, yeah, a locker. And I remember I didn't actually do that for the other thing already. Something's still to be done. If only I already had the doors and the working vents. I see the magic here. So, oh, look at that. Plop, dirty ore. Don't mind if I do. I have 2 centrifuges waiting for me to use them or dismantle them. Like, use me or kill me. Okay. I will use you. Oh, thank you, thank you. Huh. So what was it again? I need electronic parts, doors, and cables. Yeah. Now it's afternoon. There should be paragliding or something. I mean, that would be fine. I mean, it wouldn't help me here, but then again it would make the experience a bit deeper. You would experience what it is like when there is nothing that carries you and you try to jump at this thing, versus a world where you do have that, versus a world where you do have that with high pressure. Which I think will make for an even more inert gliding experience. And so you could pull that out as part of an upgrade of your suit with a certain key and so forth. Yeah, a man can dream. Yeah, I know, this echo is very fun. Sometimes it's nice, but sometimes it's annoying. This is one of the latter ones. Nah, too hectic. Too bland. Has potential. So that should be some copper stuffs, among other things. Ah, fuck. That's not what I meant. That is what I meant. Thou shalt not place your furnaces too close together. 2 electronic parts, that's a start, but it's certainly not the end all. So, we need electronic parts, and we need cables, and we need doors. Electronic parts.
critical.
No more gold. That's basically impossible. And then cables. How much copper is here? Oh, not too much. I do remember I had some copper lying around, some extra copper. What's happening? What's missing? Is it the copper indeed? Did I smelt all of that already? Appears so. Too bad you can't open these right from the locker, that would be cool. All the things that would be cool, and then some. 12, oh that's enough. Cables then. What? Oh, it ran out of copper, that's why it stopped printing.
Hydration critical.
Should be over 100 liters in here. 120. Filters, good enough. Maybe I should have a waste tank. That would be good, I guess. This one should be done already. It is. And it's super risky to do it like this. Because everything has to work out. The station has to have the right temperature. What if it heats up? What if something fails? The bottle will heat up and then at some point it explodes. And then I'll be like, oh shit, let's load a save game. Which I don't want to. I hate that. Reality. Even Minecraft is real. I mean, when you die in there, it's saved. I mean, to my memory tells me it is just, it continues from there. There's no doozy backsies. Actually, today I played a few minutes of Minecraft. Why on earth? Because I would like to build a little housing thing for some scene in a future video that I'm planning. That is Stationeers related, of course. What other videos would I make? Of my family, an album? Look, here, this is my brother. I don't like him, but here he is. And this is my mother. She's old, but she's fresh in the mind. Here's my father. He's dead. Then here is my stepfather, also dead. I'm a very deadly person. The police hasn't yet caught up to me. And so forth. You just admitted that on tape. It's not tape, it's digital. Hey Google, turn on the fan. Alright. I switched that off on the powers. Electronic parts. Bip. for those who haven't seen it yet, it's pretty cool to drive a rover with the two crates on the back and fill them with stuff, and then park the rover next to the station that you're building on, and then use that as a light source, because pretty good light source, and it will hold for a long time, even just with large batteries. No nuclear battery required. So we start with a composite door and a glass door. I mean, it's the mood is fine, I guess, but let's try something very different. No, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's fine. Do I have oxide with me? Not quite, but maybe we can dig up some. Maybe. Let's prepare that on the inside then. So here we have the side that is powered by the area power controller. Yeah, well, it's a bit very repetitive, isn't it? Stoner music, basically. Well, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just stoned, so excessive repetition isn't really my thing, though. Okay, the two of them are connected. This hasn't yet been done because there would be a problem with that. And there needs to be an input for that, which will be here. Oh, that's not well. That's I don't know where I hallucinate that. Now this dude is chirping lowly because it's discharging, but that can be fixed. Man, Tesla's stock is falling and falling. And like I told you in my previous episode, if it would rise, I mean I have 8 of them, I would like that. But if they're falling, I like that too, because of my trading strategy. Either way is fine. I just hope that they fall far enough so I would decide to get in. I mean, if you have 8, then I would like to buy 2 more, and then eventually if it falls like to 25 loss for me, then I would just double again. Which is then of course kind of very much already for my taste, but so now we have the cable here. And I need to connect that cable, not to the airlock, but to the power supply for that stuff. I think I cabled that up pretty nicely. And here comes the statement, no, you fucking didn't. That cable just exploded. Okay, main power going there, and so we have this ready. Okay. Nice.
Jetpack low.
Okay, I could basically now... I forgot the disc. Ah, fuck me. I forgot the disc. Ah, that stupid disc. I mean, I can still do it manually. It's, I mean, that's what she said. So, how will we proceed? I would say save, get the laptop out, and edit the source code somewhat. Bip, bop, bop, bop. And change the music to something less head bobbity smoky. And less loud also. Oh, that's neat. Oh, we have heard that so many times. Ah, it's neat enough. Let's... okay. Okay, all that stuff up here, let's ignore that. And I will not do the whole jump around subroutine this time. This time I will just use blocks to see what that does. Deal with indoor temperature. Okay, that's to do that here would be stupid. Let's do that then in the editor here. Deal with indoor temperature. That is this block. And just do it then. Deal with the indoor temperature in this location. Remove the indentation. One hit, key hit. Shazam, done. Jump RA is also not required, but I need an end label for this whole room temperature thing. But this means, but I can delete the intro label. Indoor temperature done is now the end label. Indoor temperature done, and to that I have to branch instead of jumping to RA. So how many lines do we have? 125. That's fewer lines than I feared we would have. Paste. So this is the indoor temperature stuff. Heats up to 15 degrees, which is a lot, and cools down if too hot. Oh my god. Too bad I don't have a passive liquid drain currently, but it's just the way it is. Is that too loud? So that's that. Then deal with solar panels. Maybe I should move that up too, while I'm at it, and we already kind of gotten used to the bore. So deal with solar panels. There that is. Cut it out. Okay. Then remove the call for deal with solar panels. And this time I don't even have to jump to the end, or do I? I don't actually, that's cool. Saves the line. Load bash, branch, prepare for morning. Tim. Yeah, looks good. And while we're at it, the station batteries. That call goes away. The headline goes away. The jump at the end goes away. Yeah, that should be good. Paste. Indoor stuff. Then that's done. Solar stuff. Then that's done. And oh my god, the battery stuff is so unfathomably complex. Then I would need to name things inside so that the cooling can actually work. The heater I will name last. Vent cooling. Vent cooling and heater. Sense gas indoor, that's actually the complex thing. Sense gas indoor. Confirm. Everything fine? Good. Is this thing on? Yep. Oh, it has not yet been cabled up. I'm already out of cables again. Soon a thing of the past. I just hope that once everything is so supplied with, well, supplies, I will not like just be out of inspiration to do stuff. That would suck hard. That should immediately turn on. It does, okay. Then we have the vent cooling. And we have the heater, which should also immediately turn on. There it is. Room heating up, 0 degrees, 1 degrees, etc. We need some more gas in here. That's not enough. Pressure 16 kilopascals. Where will I park my car though? I dig down here. Was that all? That little bit? No, there must be more. Isn't there always more? Normally, usually, please, come on. But alas. There.
Jetpack low.
This drill does quite some damage, literally. I think the heater is already off. Well, there wasn't much thermal energy to convince as to which temperature it shall express. No. 15 degrees. And it turns on again. Neat. So we have that under control. Yeah, 80 kilopascals, 7 degrees. Now it heats until we have 15, and the cooling system is also working. Can I not be fast enough? Apparently I was. Yeah, passive liquid drain is missing. For that, wasn't there something else I also wanted to do? I don't remember. Anyway, I need a disc, of course.
Power low.
So we have a breathing box now here. It's just a bit manual still. Oh, look, the heater didn't do any damage. Okay. Then the next steps would be centrifuges, though I wanted to test whether this guy can actually back up and then realize, hey, I'm full, I shouldn't spit out more shit. Yeah, let's check that out then. I still have the source code in the editor here, so the things that I will delete now will not actually hurt if they are missed. Deal with stacker? No. Deal with sound. I think this was up here, yeah. Ah, that's one of the nice ones. Again with this 3-step echo, but sometimes it's just right. This was for stopping the deep miner from doing stuff, which cannot be reduced to 2 lines, hypothetically. Load batch slot into R0 from any and all deep miners. Slot 0. Okay, now I need the help. Deep miner. No, you also need help. I said we intentionally. A lot of help. That's what I'm here for. Power maximum. Ah, the slots, of course. There's only one slot, and that's the slot there is, the export slot. And the question is slot 0 occupied? Question mark. If it is occupied, then we want to invert that. In other words, when it's unoccupied, the deep miner shall be on, otherwise it shall not be on. Now I have to provoke this situation to see if that actually does the trick by rearranging the chute rearrangement.
Jetpack low.
Valve. Okay.
Jetpack low.
At some point that guy should actually shut down. Okay, next step would be to build 2 centrifuges up here. Ah, damn, why doesn't it stack that, man? Anything else I need to do right at this moment here? Well, I need a disk. And or maybe I should carry this stupid idiot away. It's just unnecessary. Never did anything useful. Oh, right. Deep miner turn on, turn off. Logic, of course, doesn't kick in before the cable isn't there. Not that I expect that already to be the situation, but... Oh, that is the situation. Oh. I guess we learned something. What is happening? Oh. Let's see, what is it that I actually programmed? Did I write R0 or 0, like I so often do? Load batch slot into R0 from any and all miners, whether they are occupied. If I would write that here, then the deep miner would only be on if the export slot would be occupied. But I'm inverting this. If this is equal to 0, then that's true, so it becomes 1, and vice versa. Right, I used the wrong register. Something, of course. Still mining? Okay. Wasn't yet the time.
jetpack low.
So, while we witness that happening or not happening, depending on whether it works, I will work on my personal climate control. It's 35 degrees here in Germany today. Indoor temperature 28. Huh. And tomorrow is going to be 34, so yeah. During the day though, I sit in an office that is climatized down to 22 degrees, which I find actually slightly chilly. Also unnecessary. I mean, the
Hydration critical.
goal shouldn't be to make it luxurious, but to make it feel fine. And fine would be 24 degrees, if not 25. Also would make the difference smaller if you ever get out there. Not that I have any problem with that. I mean, I always hear people say, oh, it's so hot, oh my god, I cannot cope. Yeah, it's hot, fine. It's unpleasant, but it doesn't hurt you, does it? But no, they always like overdo it, but I'm not the boss of that office, and so that happens then. Okay. Should I wait for this or shouldn't I? Takes too long, huh? Why does it really take that long? Shouldn't it be quicker? Maybe this logic actually doesn't work. Could that be? Well, there's one way to find out. I need a disk. So what do we need? The climate control indoors works. We need 2 centrifuges. We need a disk. Stackers, sorter, logic sorter, yeah, sorter. Silo. Arc furnace. I think the arc furnace is already made and is waiting up there, I don't remember. Might even have some stackers already. That's stupid. It's important that I get the disk so I can easily get in and out of that room in which I have all that stuff. Yeah, say goodbye to the light. Because soon it's gonna be night, right? Maybe I should make some filters. And here's the furnace, which didn't have much stuff in it, so it's already 77 degrees. That's pretty cool. Maybe I should already empty it before we get problems, though I guess that problem has already resolved itself. Ah, still pollutant in there, no stress. So what is it that I would be doing here? I turn this guy on, which pumps the dangerous stuff in here, and then we get CO2 and nitrogen here, where that is closed. Ah, right, the indoor atmosphere is... there's CO2, not too much, that's actually nice. Nitrogen is relatively high, but I want it higher. So we know I don't want to pump that into the room. So that's closed. Then we have this here, which is open, so that would go one directionally into the tank. And what else? What do we have here? This is where the waste gas would come out, which is pollutant, for example. It goes here, but it's closed. It goes here, that is open. Yeah, we're ready. So this should actually not even heat up the room, because it goes into that tank. This time I will not have the exploding pipe effect on my furnace. Disk. Should really program these guys too for automatic stacker behavior. Okay, disk, and what else was there? I certainly don't have enough cable for whatever I want to do. Then I will need centrifuges. Do I have something prepared? Centrifuge? I have one centrifuge. That's better than none. Recycler not needed. We need a centrifuge. So, what do we have here? Nothing currently being done, and we have iron, copper, silicon, very good. And here we have iron, copper, silicon. Just the stuff we'd get in the future, except in the future we get it pre-smelted as 500 size ingots. Pressure 80 kilopascals. Basically empty, yeah. Need copper. Iron is currently not so needed. No! Interesting, it does it by itself. That is one centrifuge. Then I don't know what about stackers, logic sorter. I'm pretty sure I don't have an extra logic sorter up there. Disk, I should have the disk. Didn't I make it? I did make the disk. Where is it? They're just flying around in here somewhere. There it is. Okay, found the disk. Sorter then.
Hunger, caution.
Well, that was fast. Well. Wait, let me just, schematic. What did I call that? PNG, ingot, there it is, plan of completed ingot factory. Yeah, first of course the centrifuges, and then the arc furnace, and then the sorter. Yeah. Yeah, this whole first-person mouse movement, I mean this whole first-person camera movement thing is a bit fucked up, I find. You want to do something here, then you have to point your exact center of your exact body and head in that direction for that to manifest. Instead, we could also do this. Why couldn't there be some kind of mixture of the two? Like a little bit, and all of that softened and bouncy. Well, not bouncy, but you know. Okay, I've answered the question many times. Why? Because Rocketworks is pretty busy. It prioritizes differently also. Oxygen. Oh. Hey, I saw a video this morning about the song Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, which was actually written by John Deacon, you know, the bass player. And that was the first song he contributed, I think, is what they said. And then Queen played around with that, but in the end they decided not to publish it because, I don't know, it's not really what we normally do. And then Michael Jackson came along and said, dude, you gotta publish that. And then they did. And that's supposedly the most popular Queen song or something. Okay, disk for the airlock. Centrifuges, sorter, and arc furnace might or might not be up there already. Ah, you know what, I'm gonna need another arc furnace anyway. I will just make one. In case I don't need it, I will take it back. What age we live in. I mean, if you wanted to know something like 30 years ago, you asked your parents, your brother, your neighbor, or maybe it was about woodwork, and so you would ask someone whom you know who does that professionally or whatever. And then, or maybe you would have to go to the library, and then they would say, hey, are you a member already? No, okay, then you get your library card, and so on and so forth. And these days, you can even tell a machine, well, I'm interested in woodwork, particularly this aspect, but I'm not really good at blah, 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 so could you explain it to me bit by bit, particularly focus on this and this stuff, and then 20 seconds later, you have already read the first paragraph of your very own instructions manually with all the best knowledge, hypothetically, I mean, in this field, I guess that would be the best, that you can gather. What age we live in. I mean, we should not forget they were sitting in a chair in the sky, like Louis C.K. Puts it. Yeah. It's glorious. It is. I mean, appreciate the small shit and realize it's not small at all. Then again, what does it mean, small and big? Relative to what? And the main question when I ask that question, of course, is why would you use that relation and not a different one? And that, you know, bleeds into everything, I guess, and makes everything kind of, you know what, you know, it's all equal. We need some fundamental value shift. Good thing that will come. It will. Mark my words. We will all be northed. We will all have our actual compass north and then see all in relation to that. And we kind of have that in a way, right? I mean, let's say you would currently be on fire while boiling an acid, and you would also see your children being murdered, which would overall be an unpleasant experience. But the opposite of that, or relatively opposite of that, would be you have your own apartment and you can take a warm or cold shower whenever you so wish, and you can regulate the temperature, and you are alone in your own four walls. I would propose that even for couples, that they have at least the personal space where they can, well, you know, because if people are forced to interlock their respective influence on our collective canvas, the probability space, too much, then that leads to that's strenuous for the relationship, because then there's so much you have to in there instead of the other person being the option, the opportunity, the happiness that you have acquired. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You wanted to get originally together with the other person for all kinds of purposes, but now there's so much you have to involve that you didn't plan on. The other person didn't so either. So what you should do is try to get rid of that shit and keep the good shit. Isn't that obvious? So what we're seeing here is that this concept actually does not work. Well, I programmed it wrong. That's also possible. Oh, nothing coming out? Why is nothing coming out? That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. I mean, in all this time, there should have been one little ball, and you saw that this thing was tossing out things, and you also saw that this thing, I have not changed that. Maybe I want to swap that out for a windowed shoe. That would help here. Uh-huh. Where is that? There it is.
Jetpack low.
I don't know, I have to keep an eye on this. Maybe actually the stacker code that I wrote there is necessary, or whatever means I would use to find out whether it's occupied. Wow, are these batteries full? Cool. Next step. The centrifuges. Consulting my little thing here. Okay, okay, and okay. Doesn't have to be completely identical, but while I have this plan open, why not make it so? That's too close. Somehow it feels different, I don't know why. That's it. Import. Did I use window shoots? I did, and that was actually pretty relevant for debugging. Don't worry, I have more shoots indoors. Okay, let's configure this airlock. Nope, the wrong one. Now this one is locked, that one is not. Okay, exterior then. Interior. Glass door. Exterior. No, it is a composite door. Yep. So what do we have here? No building materials whatsoever, actually. I imagined that quite differently. Oh, it's still so warm in here. And my computer is doing its part, of course. It's now a space heater. And my chair is still very loud. Can turn the fan a lot stronger. Okay. Yeah, so that's all in here. How are we doing? Still turning? And something's already there. But does that mean that something's there also? Let's recheck the source code because, god damn it, this can't be.
Jetpack low.
Load batch slot into R0 from any and all miners. Slot 0, the only slot these dudes have. Whether it's occupied, is that the right term? Occupied, occupant hash quantity, damage, bop, bop, bop. Yeah, that should be it actually. And when that's right into register R0, whether the register R0 is equal to 0. So if it's not occupied, then this is 0 and becomes 1. And so the deep miner is on. But when it is occupied, which apparently it never is, then this is 1. Becomes 0, so the deep miner is not on. And we have seen that all of that in action already. Not all of that. Not the part where it would then turn off. I don't understand, man.
Jetpack low.
Apparently that's actually not possible. Well, let me continue with the shoots then. So that tip that I got there is actually one that didn't work. Window. Overflow. Yep, looking good. Centrifuges need power. And the turn on and offness I will ultimately program, of course, /I have already. In episode 5, and this is number 7.
Jetpack low.
So the dudes are running, let's open the valve. And then observe how many balls we see. Is what she said. Excuse me?
Jetpack critical.
What's happening? Could it be the valve is broken? What's going on, man? I don't understand. I know that the valves are kind of special. They have to... they are kind of devices. They have to be put on a normal chute. This is a normal chute. Why is this thing not working? That doesn't make sense at all to me. Oh, my thingy is empty. I don't get it, man. Why is this thing not working? Are the valves bugged? The chutes, the chute valves? The night light is on. Well, I don't know why this doesn't work. I mean, two things just didn't work. The valve didn't work, and I mean, there was clearly a ball here and the ball was waiting, so that thing wasn't turned off by that. That doesn't work. That's pretty dumb, man. Why doesn't this work? But that's what it is. Anyway, so the centrifuges are currently not busy, therefore they should also not be on. Copy. And in a new tab that I already made, paste, because we need the stacker source back. Where are the centrifuges? Yeah, actually, the centrifuges stuff stays in subroutines. Because it's two centrifuges, it's one subroutine. So I call it twice. Which I hereby do. Okay, paste. Now we're doing this too. Call the centrifuge thing, which is down here, somewhere. Somewhere over the rainbow. There. Blim blum 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 blum. So these things still need a name. Hey, wait, what's happening? Oh, a cable burned out. I think that actually happened earlier, and I was wondering, I thought I saw something up there, and was looking for a burnt out cable, but I couldn't see it, but that was there, I overlooked that, and so, yeah, but we're fine. Now this dude will recharge, the airlocks will work again with a battery buffer, and we can actually use that source code, but first also have to rename the centrifuges. The effect being that they turn off, and I don't know which one is 1 or should be 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. Is this thing not outputting anything? Maybe I'm just impatient. Oh, now this thing's... Oh, it's just that moment. Hilarious. I mean, you saw that guy turn off when I renamed it to 1, right? And then I was looking around, where's that ball? There should be a ball. Yeah, there should be a ball. The deep miner agreed. Bob spat it out in that moment. Must have happened like this. Okay, deep miners. Next one would be the arc furnace, which I happen to have on me. I think I did it like this. Wait, I do have a screenshot here. I did actually not do it like that. I was actually saving materials. Now the junction chute. Ah, crap. Need more chutes. Oh, there are more chutes actually. I had those. That is actually correct. The junction chute with these arrows. And the blueprint saith. The next one is a window chute and the next one is the arc furnace. Did I actually give a name to the arc furnace in the source code? And is that already activated? I don't think so. Deal with arc furnace. Here we go. And that's only a few lines. And it's just load batch slot. It's just any and all arc furnaces. Okay, let's move that over here, pedestrian style. Load whether arc furnace has something in the input slot. If so, turn on and activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines become 3 lines. And an empty line. But that doesn't count. Could leave that out. This shit doesn't work. Is under logic control. Okay, next step would be the sorter. Do I have one? I do. I do! Logic sorter this time, not to make that stupid mistake again. Oh, it doesn't work, I don't understand. I will report that bug in the forum. I won't. Okay. Now we need 2 window chutes. After which we need 2 stackers that I do not have with me. And after that we join everything together, chute-wise, and then comes the silo, which I don't have. And let me tell you, that means that the facility is basically done then. Neat. And it's, I still have easily an hour, if not more. So then I would say the next thing is to make another light station. More efficiently than I did so far. Actually, I should check on the other one near morning to see how... Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that thing should actually write... should make sure that the solar panel is pointed towards the morning in the evening. Oh, to forget the laptop. We need more chutes for the things that are planned. But otherwise we're looking pretty good, yeah. Is this thing off? No. This thing does not turn off when it should. It's already stacking up. This is good. It outputs for about 2.3 centrifuges, but we have 2 here, so eventually that would be a waste of electricity, and I don't want that. So I need 3 stackers and a silo. And eventually there will be more of these little stars on the horizon, and who knows, maybe there will be enough that even the ground will be visibly lit here and there from afar. I don't think so. Actually, it's so high in the air. I wonder if it turns out that it has well enough electricity, maybe I should add some more lights to that one light station. Who knows?
Power low.
There's the station. Yeah, it's always cool with these caves when you discover them, but at some point you learn that it's just a form, and beyond it is just the same. It's just rock.
Hydration critical.
I'm not complaining about Stationeers here or whatever, but it's just a general observation. It's like with the doors in a game, when they work, instead of being fake. They open up to something new, right? But on the other side, it's just a room. Hopefully it's designed a bit, maybe you can find some stuff. I'm looking forward to that time when I'll be making games myself. I mean, this concept of Stationeers where so many things work with other things and, you know, are connected basically, and this emergent behavior, I want that with everyday life utilities and things that you can use in a game that is more like city oriented. We have the strongest emotional relationship to city, and I think we also have the strongest emotional relationship to home. Like here, this is my home that I'm building, and so this is a very good game from that aspect. But when you're playing basically a city game, then you should always have an apartment. Now we have that, for example, in Cyberpunk 2077, and they're pretty cozy, but I think they're just, you know, nicely designed, with one or two gimmicks, like the record player or something, which idiotically you cannot play while you're on a fuck meeting. In principle, it just looks nice. It's just a 3D painting. I mean, what more can you expect? A little bit more. Just not too much, but a little bit more I would want, yes. 3 stackers. I don't know what exactly, but that's exactly what I want to work on, you know? Spitball shit and toy around with potential stuff. And focus on that gameplay stuff and not on graphics. I mean, graphics are fine and such, but if that visual stuff gets in the way of the simulation, then that's wrong. The first and foremost thing is the gameplay. You know that when you play a game, an ASCII art game like LAN or Hack, for example, or maybe Dwarf Fortress, which I have not played, not actually. Silo. That is in the mind. The mind needs to find its reflection in the game. And of course this can be done with good graphics, but that would just be superficial, insufficient reflection. What I want is something that works. Something that is like a puzzle, so to speak. Yeah. My purpose in the world shall not just to behold it, but to live with it. I think we need more steel sheets. And more chutes. These are still balked.
Hunger, caution.
And these are like, I'm not doing anything, but that's natural. They're off. Wow, this silo is a big thing. It takes a long time to print. I realize with surprise that I have not yet drunken enough for this day. Excusez-moi. Hello, back again. Oh, no more steel? What happened? Oh, not no more steel. The SDB thing is done. So I got the new smartphone, Samsung S23 Plus, from a colleague at work actually, and because they got one from the company, and so that went into their private possession, but they didn't need it, and so they sold it for 150 euros to me, and I'm really happy about that. And the only smartphone I ever had before was the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, which I also got for 150 bucks on eBay. Well, what's the word? Incidentals? Something, right? I don't know what the term is. In Germany we say Kleinanzeigen. Oh. Unfortunate. Okay. There was more, wasn't there? I have the stickers and tons of shoes. That's what was missing. And how many stackers do I have? 3. Okay, so we can do the thing. Now, I didn't really worry much about what to do with my old smartphone. I will do the same with it, what I do with my old computers. I keep them around. Because if something breaks down, I still have a fallback. But in practice with this old smartphone, I wonder, I mean, it was keeping busy, the battery was moving down from 80 to whatever, and then I recharged it again. So what do I do with it now? Now I'm considering to use it as an alarm clock. Because I have a nice app there, I don't know what its name is, let me just look that up. Do I have that on my new one too? Let's look here. I have my folders here, 3D, AI, audio, automation. Then we have browse, read, write, which is one folder. Then we have communication. Then we have find. Then we have games, imaging, maintenance for, self-referential for the phone. Then we have money and security, navigation, organization, remote and storage, shopping, tools, like NFC reader and such, barcode reader, video, and weather and health. So I would now look in the organization drawer, and there is digital clock is the name. And it shows me, the 7 segment displays, right, with which show numbers. And this is one that consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 segment thingies with a colon in the middle, and then a small seconds counter again with 7 segments on the right. And I can choose the color, and it shows green or whatever. And you can also let the thing wake you up and so forth. And you can also set it so that it keeps the screen on. And that's cool. And I realize I can't get out of this one on the new phone. What's happening? Here we go. A little bit more insistent. You just want to check who the actual guy is who gave me that. App details in store. App download from Samsung Cloud. Oh! That's where I got it. Huh. Damn, I wanted to just quickly check who made that, so in case you want to try that out. So that you don't get the wrong one, because digital clock seems awfully generic. I don't know if that's enough, let's make more. It's not really something I seriously want to do, but this would keep the thing busy, like the battery would still be alive, it wouldn't rot. Oh, pretty cool about my new phone is I charge it up to 80% and then it will stop, because you can define where that should stop, and so there's maximally battery protecting. And then I go to work, and then I get back home, and after this whole day and using it a little bit also, I've fallen out from 80% to 60%. What the fuck? I mean, normally I charge up to 90% and then I'm at like 40% in the evening, so that's well more. I'm really happy with this new thing. Yeah. Consider me happy. I don't care. Okay. Then I don't care about you either. Oxygen filter. Oh yeah, filter should be. I should do something along on that front. some point it's just a chore to change the filters and all that, right? Yeah, but what's really missing there is the consciousness. I mean, on the one hand, it's a bit simplified, everything, you know? So it's just, you know, bop bop, that suck, problem solved and so forth. But in principle, that's not really the problem. The problem is consciousness. The problem is that what I suspect to be true, that happiness is indeed a finite resource. Or, no, let's not say finite, let's say limited. Wait, that's the same thing, isn't it? No, not necessarily. If it's finite, then eventually we have used up all of that, and that's it. End of story. But limited would mean that we might have an infinite supply, but we only get a trickle feeding. You know, a little drop here, a little drop there. And that's what your body is. It's a happiness manufacturing machine. And when you have downloaded happiness from your future by means of drugs, for example, you know, heroin or whatever, I mean the more intense shit, then when, or alcohol, then when you arrive in that future yourself, you realize, oh, the happiness isn't here, it's in the past. Then you realize, well, you have been happy this whole time, to some very small degree. There's some foundational levels, so to speak. It doesn't make you smile and say, oh my god, I'm so happy and I feel so good, I just came again. But instead it's just what you need as a human being to just be. And when that is gone, and you can actually get that, you can actually download that basically, or copy that, or move it, or pipeline it into the past where you are currently basically, then it's missing from the future, and then you arrive there yourself, and then ouch. And then what you want is, of course, you know, you need that happiness, man. Where do you get that? Well, time will give it to you. Oh, time? Which means I could just accelerate that and download that from the future and so forth. That's the vicious cycle of when you get lost in the hard drugs. Did I do it like this? Where is the thing? Bup, bup, bup. Yes, I did it like that. That looks awkward. Why does it look like that? Is that a stacker? Wait, so that's a sorter. These are two stackers to get to 500 each. And then that fuses together, and then... what is that? Oh, right. That is the shoes going vertical. Yeah, okay. Window shoot. Junction. That's the right stuff. And right after this, we go high in the sky. Promised. Okay, and then we have two horizontal and then the silo. Yep, that looks about right. Oh, that's already correct. Nice. Oh man, I don't have enough cables. Five cable cord. I thought it would be 15. But still, we don't have enough cables. Now it's done. Nice. Tons of cables required. Tons of copper required then. That stacker goes here. But I can't yet like put it there because it needs to be cabled up. How many cables do I have? 2. That could actually be enough. Wait, let me try. That's hilarious. That is enough. Oh, nice. What was that stacker called again? I have to look at the source code before I got... Yeah. Import from the chip into the computer. Plop. Copy. Paste, and then go to the old source and fetch the sorter stuff. Tip, 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 tip. Come on, where is it? There we go. Yeah, right, I cannot do that in the source code. Where do I go now? Where do I have to do this? There's J start. Let's paste that right above. How many lines do we have? Overall 128. Okay, that's a lot of lines. Too many lines. Deal with silo, deal with stacker, deal with sorter. Can I delete some lines? I will just delete the 3 battery slide lines which I haven't used either on the other. Paste. Okay. So what's new here now is this here. Structure stacker, which is named DM switch. When the input is occupied or the output, the processing is occupied, then the deep miner shall be off, but otherwise it shall be on. And now the stacker itself, if the output is occupied, then we make sure that the stacker is off, because then its nice, intelligent, whatever useful things are actually not of use. Else we use whatever we have learned up here. Yup. When did I close all that? Accidentally, of course. Okay. Stacker, where are you? Of course, that had to happen. Yeah, and still on because I haven't yet given it its name. Now it's off. Okay, so that should now finally be working, but I still have, I believe, have this stupid line with the deep miner switching on, switching off in there. The kind that didn't work, so let's remove that quickly. Ah yeah, here I'm loading whether occupied blah 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 blah. Eventually, oh, the second centrifuge is already busy. That's nice. Cool. And now we need cables galore. No way around it, have to go back into the where we came from. Chutes are no longer needed. Can leave most of them in this station. This chair is about 15 years old.
But don't you get a new one from all your YouTube money?
My YouTube money? Strawman? What, my YouTube money? What YouTube money? I don't get paid for this shit. I mean, then it should be better quality anyway. But, I mean, there's some videos which are ridiculous quality, and I also don't get paid for those either, so I'm just saying. It's fun to make them, of course. Let's go in here, get some power, and see if we can find some copper to make a shit ton of cables. That's not a shit ton. Hilarious, now I have a ton of heavy cables on me, but no actual... Yeah. I think the centrifuges out there are busy with stuff, aren't they? What am I doing? I have enough power. And then they can eat some more stuff. It's 12 grams of copper. Makes 24 cables. Not enough cables. Still strapped for copper after all this time, but this will finally be solved once this facility really takes off. Some people let their Stationeers stations run for a while, basically as an idle game, so that they produce ingots, and that's questionable. You could say, well, on the one hand, in reality it would also be, I don't know, doing stuff, would be sleeping, or this and that, whatever, and my machines keep working, yeah. And that's one way to look at it. Why not? But on the other hand, clearly you're using... well, you're cheating. In a way. Maybe I can use the opportunity to somehow clean up a little. And for that I need to make a plan. First of all, we could install a few more lights, which takes cables, haha. But I mean, I don't have to, like, I can put some lights here, for example. One here, one there. There are cables already here. But I guess printing lights also takes copper, right? 2 copper. Oh man. I'm really strapped for copper. No, I'm not gonna do that. Well then, how could I do this? I could, for example, take all the scrap and stack it together to the largest ingot size that we have, which is 500. Because in the end I'm going to have lots of these, of the 500 type. And then whenever I need something, I want to print, for example, one little item that takes 2 silicon. I will toss a 500 gram ingot in there regardless, because I'll have it, you know? I mean, it's going to be used up over time, no problem. So stacking these up to 500 is step number 1. Let's do that. Or not. Yeah, 38 is way too little. I cannot do anything with this. I guess I have to smelt these guys too. Okay. While I'm waiting, so 500. By the way, something I did to make things more streamlined in another station, here is basically currently not possible. I put a stacker right after this, and with junction and shit I could actually toss things into the stacker, but anything that would come out from the centrifuge would also go into the stacker, and so that would automatically be stacked up to maximum, which is basically not necessary. I don't know why exactly I did that. There was a reason, and it had a good effect. Anyway, so 500. Change the station, okay. Beep bop.
And listen to Soma FM 102.3.
Soma FM.
What? Silver. Iron. Things. Okay, that one's easy. Fire. Wow, that was so irritating. I thought that was in the game somehow. Or in this apartment. You never know. Sometimes when I hear sound here, I would say, I will cut your fucking face off! Something like this. Just, you know, to see how it feels. Still gathering data, eh? This whole radio telescope thing that I keep talking about, where I say that anything that you perceive is data. It's the interpretation is the trick, but data it is. And so I'm still wondering, can you really perceive whether there's another person present? Without using your eyes, you know. And well, when you're just idling, what do you expect? But when there is, let's say, a social interaction of the more intense kind, maybe then you would feel something, and or the other person would react. I don't know. Well, a little conundrum. If I would want a black bag for the coal, what color shall the gray stuff, the lead have? I mean, gray is already used. How about silver is white and lead is gray? That would make more sense. One thing led to another. I need more of the backpackies. Let's just use this. Has it already printed everything? Okay. Almost done. And this one, guess what? I will paint orange. Fortunately, I don't have to. It is already orange. This one will become gray, for it is lead. And this one is gases of various kinds. I will make an explicit coal container thing. Finally we're cleaning up a little, huh? Feels better. Every little bit counts. The flow gets smoother. I mean, this game has infinitely many is hyperbole, ways that the gameplay levels up, but you can even level up as a person a little bit somehow. I don't know what to colorize this. I will just use blue for now. And now I can guess what the thing is. Fire, gases, coal, iron, nickel? Is nickel the word? Nickel. And silver and lead and, yeah, coal. Okay. I have had various occasions where I got the impression as if I could sense whether someone is present, particularly looking at me. For example, a bicycle driver driving towards me in the night while I was listening to audiobooks like 30 meters away. But all of these data points are soft, particularly given the ridiculous claim. Therefore, well, I don't count them. Not actually. They are just on a big pile of radio telescope data. I don't know what to do with them. Still gathering data. You idiot. No, I'm asking myself the questions that everybody else would say that's bullshit. So I find shit and they don't. Is the idea. Okay, we have fed ourselves. There is enough gas.
Waste tank critical.
How enthusiastic and dramatic she is about that, huh? Quickly, your waste tank, it is currently critical. No, that's not that. Do that again. Waste tank critical. Okay, we have cables and do I need something else? I think not. Which means that I do not get any results. That is too loud and annoying too. Still doing its thing, okay. Feels good that slowly there's some kind of growing abundance of resources. That you can be in a situation where you think, I need a battery. Oh, let's take this one. Instead of, okay, let's gather the resources with a mining drill, put them through the arc furnace so they can put them in the manufactory so they can print the battery. By the way, you can paint the moon surface, not with your spray cans, but when you design a map, you can define some color overlay. Which I did in this video that I mentioned a few times, which I don't know if I will actually complete. I just don't feel like doing that. I guess I need another vacation to really do thorough videos again. Currently I'm just lazy, hanging out and so forth. I feel like it. I mean, follow my emotion, what else can I do? I mean, there are people who claim that they don't follow their emotion, but everybody does that. Normally a person's emotion is tied into a knot. Basically, it's complete cacophony. It's not a round circle. It's like a multi-band equalizer with many sliders up a bit. You know. Do I actually need that? Okay. Good thing I have it then. Instead of that one slider up that you need in a particular moment. I think you can see it. I mean, when you decide not to hit someone in the face, even though you feel like it, what is... not that I feel... It's just, you know, I have stupid examples, like when I say, well, if you don't know what a car is, but you watch many cars and so forth. These stupid childish examples, but they work. So if they get the job done... Oh, have you seen that? This thing was just blinking. And what we have now is all of this stuff being pretty full. So at some point this guy should... Oh, it has turned off? It has turned off. How? It's working! Yay! So has anything been smelted yet? I guess not. But we're not too far away from it, I guess. So time to cable things up. Where are the cable connectors? Here. I mean, most important thing you can do is to have faith in your mind. Like for example, when you go to bed and you wake up in the morning. You're still there, your memories are still there, everything is still there, even though you didn't focus on keeping them. And your mind is even cleaned up somewhat. How did that happen? So basically we're being taught by nature on every day or every night, I don't know, to have faith in reality. So there's this thing with Alcoholics Anonymous and other such groups, which actually have a not too bad concept, I must admit, where they try to make you basically lean back and let yourself be healed. But they tell you, have faith in Jesus. You know, they want to acquire you for their stupid insanity. And I mean, the insanity might not be the belief, because hey, who knows, maybe Jesus is real. I don't think so. I think it's bullshit. But anyway, but the way by which they come to these beliefs and then say, this is the truth, yes, I want to spread that and format the mind of my children too and make sure that they never let go of this, even though I don't have any reason to believe it, so they don't have one, but I will give them one because they will be out in the street if they don't go pray with me and shit. Very nice. That's certainly a loving parent. Congratulations, you got it all figured out. So is this being controlled? It's not. Why is it not being controlled? What is the name of this stacker? What name did I give that stacker? So, but what I would say is this faith thing works. They give, you know, there's a higher power that you cannot do anything against, and that's good. That is good. That is not a wrong belief. It is a true belief. I'm not saying that you should limit yourself, but I'm saying you should also accept there's always something that is beyond you. And it's a good thing, it's a good thing really, to develop some kind of relationship to that. I'm not saying in Jesus or whatever, but I mean the ability to tap into the idea that reality keeps going despite you not making it happen. That's basically the way I would phrase that, yeah. Sorter. The sorters deal with sorter. Yeah, I have to go edit the source code again. Deal with sorter. So instead of have faith in Jesus, I would say have faith in the universe, because you're doing that anyway. Every time you go to sleep, you have faith in the universe, of which your body is obviously a part, and your brain too. You're one with the universe without being it. It's weird, but that's the way it is. Like, I don't know, one knows of a jigsaw puzzle piece is part of the puzzle piece, but it is not the puzzle piece. You are part of the universe, but you are not the universe, in a way. In a way. But in a way you are, so it's a bit weird. I think the idea with the Möbius strip puts it well. A Möbius strip is if you have a broad band, maybe, and you cut that, and then you connect the two ends so that you have a circle. But you twist it one time. And so when you follow that with your flat hand on the outside, then at some point you will find yourself on the inside. If you keep going, you'll find yourself on the outside again, you know? Inside, outside. It's the same thing, but it's somehow, you know, the backside of it. And that's your relationship to the universe, I think. That is, I think, how reality is constructed. Ugh. Carbon stuff of my sparkling water is not playing nice. So, deal with sorter. That stuff needs to stay a subroutine. So that's what it should be then. Deal with stacker, deal with sorter. I believe the sorter thing I should move up because that was only one sorter, so we don't need to call it a subroutine. I know you can't see that right now. Oh, maybe I should pause this. So there's the subroutine that is called a deal with sorter, and I will move that a bit. below the deal with arc furnace stuff. So deal with sorter. Load from the sorter occupies some. Write batch sorter on R0 so that it takes care of the power. Then we write the program into the sorter so that it, well, sorts. Then we have RA, which falls away. Deal with arc furnace, that call falls away because the source is already above it. Deal with sorter is what I just did. Deal with silo is something I want to move up there also, which is currently 5 lines, which is the call, the label, the jump RA, and the 2 lines that do the actual duty. And what a waste that is. Now it's only 2 lines instead of 5. So this jump subroutine thing, not wrong, but not always the right move, particularly in this very tight environment. Okay, that was the sorter. Now let's deal with the stackers after the sorter and before the silo. Do the stackers have a name? R0. Let's see, what does the deal with stacker source do? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Deal with stacker. Load batch named slot. Named. Stack ingot is the name. Is that defined up here? It is stack ingot. So we have everything. Okay. Yeah, okay. Paste. So let's go through the source code. Definitions, definitions, definitions. Reservation or registers, for whatever reason. Indoor temperature including heating dealings. Then solar panel dealings including the prepare for the morning stuff. Turn all the batteries on. Deal with both centrifuges. Deal with the arc furnace. Deal with the sorter, that's new now. Deal with the 2 stackers. Deal with the silo. And this is the deep miner stacker thing that I used, which works. So the supposed official solution, which I have 2 people, I mean, someone recommended that in the YouTube comments, and someone showed me their source code unrelated to this recording on Discord, and then I said, oh, that's genius, man, you can do that with the deep miner, it's cool, I have to try that. Now it turns out that doesn't work. But I have a solution that works. No. So deal with centrifuge, deal with stacker. What does it do? It loads batch name slot into R1. R0 is the argument that I hand over, which is which stacker type is that. But then we also have the name, and that is stack ingot, and that is this name, stack ingot. Max headroom. And then we set that to setting 500, and we turn that on as needed. Yeah. Hopefully that works, as I will be frustrated, which is something I'm not too fond of. So let's give that... The sorter is already controlled. These guys are not yet controlled because they are not yet named. Now they are. Okay. Should be fully operational. What about the silo? Oh, it's not yet cabled up. Okay, let's do that then. This is the logic side, so we are on the right side of history here. Nice.
Why is it not working?
Facility completed. This should really be all of it. We should really have the entire thing now. And since I do need copper the whole time, let's trigger the centrifuges so I get some fresh batch of stuff. And this will not even do anything bad, because the entire logic as it is programmed will just continue like it was. It's always a problem to have persistent states in registers. With that I mean to say like, well, this thing knows what the state of the centrifuge is, and therefore the program will act based upon the register. No, you should act based upon reality, because then if reality changes, surprisingly, the program can cope. Yeah, done. Cool, cool, cool. So the next thing should be another light facility. Maybe, well, I don't know where exactly. I should basically choose that spot during the day. Hey, let's look at the thing here. Okay, the gold thing, gold silver thing is right there. Straight here in that direction where the crosshair is right now. Almost straight under the earth, a little bit to the right. So where should I put the light thing then? Should I put it on the same axis? As if multiple lights would be there, kind of forming a line, which is then in turn an axis along the compass, 90 degrees thing or whatever? Or should I just sprinkle them about, you know? Decisions. I don't know. Oh. Will decay completely in 1 hour. Okay. Well, I don't have a fridge here. And in the other facility I actually have an autolathe here, and out in front there's an arc furnace that is not used. Sophisticated. And an autolathe would actually make a lot of sense here, because you can print a lot of things with iron and copper, and iron copper is what I get here. Oh my god. The facility is not yet done. Oh, absolutely fucking not. Because guess what? What's coming out here is not what I'm currently measuring for, and the things that are coming out here are 3, not 2. So I'm not done at all. Oh fuck. Okay, let's see. But now everything is going straight and is going to the silo. So there's not being... I don't get it. Wouldn't that have to be stuck in the stacker for not being 500? Why is it coming out at all? I mean, this is unrelated to the sorter problem. The stackers should stack to 500, and they are. What's happening? Oh right, of course, it went straight, and so one thing kicked out the other. That's what happened. Yep. So yeah, it's not yet done. Anyway, I have some results. 23 grams of copper. Okay, what needs to be done? We need to decide for, let's pretend we only have 2 that we want to sort. And then afterwards we realize, oh, we still have some stuff here that we need to sort. Well, let's pretend we have 2 that we need to sort. And at that moment that will even be true. This here will look a bit awkward. I need another sorter, that's so much is clear. And I should sort for... let's look at the tablet. What is it that we get here? Primarily iron and then primarily copper. So mostly iron and then copper. Sure, so I should sort for iron and for copper. No, I should. No, this is not how that works. I should pick out the thing that I want to sort away. And so I would pick out iron. And so let's do that. That's the right move. Then we continue from there. Obviously things are getting a bit more complicated now. item gold ingot would have to be item copper. Wait, didn't I say iron? I said iron. Iron ingot. Item iron ingot is the thing that would have to be written in there. I mean, at least I assume that it's written like that. Which means that whenever iron comes along, it will be tossed to the side. And then it can stack up peacefully. Let's check iron ingot, just to be sure. Item iron ingot. Okay. Was that written to the chip? I think so. I just imported item iron ingot. So, item iron ingot will now be sorted to the side. Which is this side. And so that part is ready. But this part here on this side still needs to, actually, I realize I need to invert the sorter. I need to say whenever it's not the thing that I sorted for, go here. Why? Because the sorter has the input slot on this side, and so I need another sorter. Guess what? I need to place that here, where it still has two things that it actually needs to sort. What is that? Copper. So I need another sorter and possibly a bunch more chutes. I don't know that yet. Let's get that stuff.
Hydration critical.
In case I haven't said it yet, but again, anyway, why shouldn't I say it twice? On Android I found a nice program that is called Text Walls. T-E-X Walls, as in wallpaper. Let's see again what the... in the Apple Store. Yeah, that's actually from the Apple Store. Is by Lazy Genius PVT Ltd. Lazy Genius with a Z, PVT Ltd. Text walls, exclamation point, text wallpapers. And so when I need to, I actually, on my Samsung phone, I have two symbols on the lock page. You know, one is the photograph in the right bottom corner, and the left top bottom is the phone, where you can call someone. So you click there and you tap there and you pull that to the side, and then that function will be called. But I changed that, the right one being, I changed the audio mode, and the left one triggers the flashlight. Because the other stuff I don't need there. And then somehow I managed to customize the screen to also have this text wallpaper thing. And so when I need to remember something, I just open that and create a little text wallpaper and then set that to the log page. So whenever I open my phone, pop, there it is. I see, I have some sleeve thingy that you can open and close, so that triggers the log page to become visible. Or you can just touch that instead. And then I see the thing that I need to remember. Yep. Useful. Fool. Yeah. So we need a sorter. iron, copper. But oxygen. Looking good. God, it's so fucking warm here.
Waste tank critical.
When I sleep, I just let a fan run, which just blows all over my body, from bottom to top. Because maybe your mother told you many times that if you're freezing, you need to keep your feet warm. Well, because the entire blood flow goes through there. I don't know if that's actually like the reason or the and so forth, but it turns out that works very well for heating and for cooling. So that's where the fan blows mostly. But if it's really so, as warm as it is today, then I will just let it blow all over me. And that's fine. I mean, there are people who say, I cannot sit in the when the fan blows at me the whole time. I assume that's just imagination, because I can't imagine that someone gets a problem from air movement, because then what the fuck are you doing on this planet, man? Air movement, that's wind. And you know, god damn it. But I cannot sleep with that. Well, you can. I'm sleeping with earplugs, for example, while at the same time a loudspeaker is playing loud white noise in the background, so which I hear muffled the whole time while I sleep, which is like, I don't know, wind or the ocean or whatever. In other words, there's always a sound carpet that if there would be some impulse sound from some asshole neighbor, motherfucking faggot piece of dog shit, then that would be swallowed by the carpet, and so it wouldn't be so jolting. That's why I do that. And yeah, you can do that, you can just get used to it. It's always a matter of getting used to. For example, I eat once a day. I've been eating and drinking for once a day, you know, in the afternoon when I get home. That's when I have my breakfast. Then I eat, then I drink. The drinking is like 2 liters, spread over several hours, of course, not just 10 minutes later I'm done, no. And that's how I've been doing for 20 years. It's just a matter of getting used to. $180 meters? Seriously? How could I get so lost?
That's what we're asking ourselves the whole time, but we don't dare to comment it.
Dude, I'm not lost, I'm the finder of lost children. First order of business, I need to invert the thing that I did here. So I'm filtering for X, and it shall sort to the side, aka it shall do the sorting action whenever X is not the case. So that here we still have 2 that we can deal with, and then we use that sorter that I just hopefully brought. Did I fucking bring the sorter? Oh yes, I did. And then we can continue from there. And I would also need a stacker. which I should have brought, but didn't. Fuck my life. Now it's up here, that's awesome, I guess. Can we swap that back or something? Maybe we have to do it the upside down. What I want at the top, I have to sort first. Maybe that's how it works. No, of course, that's not how it works, because it's rocket works. It's random. It's always random. Shame. And I mean that actually. No. Okay, sorter. Where is it? Here we go. What am I doing? I'm telling the sorter that if the input slot, load bench slot, is occupied, then it shall be on, and otherwise it shall not be on. That's enough, and that has proven successful. Afterwards, we're composing a value. We're saying the upper bits, I write a 0 into those. In the bits in the middle, I write the item ingot, and this is the same. This one command does both of that. Then we move that to the left, and then I'm writing a command statement in there. I believe we can use the mode for that, but let's see. Logic sorter. Blah, 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 blah. So here, for example, you have the mode all. I don't know what the mode is actually. All, any, none. Yeah, you can set multiple filters, I guess. Can I just add a second filter? But that would add a ton of lines that I don't have. It's better to just invert it. Let's see, can I do that? Filter prefab hash equals. Filter prefab hash not equals. Okay, problem solved. All I need to do is to say the opcode shall not be 1, but 2. So what I'm doing here is that iron will go straight, and anything that is not iron will go the other way. Theoretically, let's see if that works. Here we should have some iron by now, I guess. Yup, we do. Now currently there's nothing, and well, I need to trigger things, and so let's just open the guys. Nothing here, no? Just want to make, just double checking here. So let's empty the dude here. I guess that the iron ingot is of considerable size already. That's what she said. 85 grams. Oh, okay. And that's all we have? I thought there was more. Wasn't it 3? Well, then it wasn't. No, okay. So this guy is currently smelting silicon ore, and that goes right. Okay, that's so far that's correct. Nothing is here, and here we have silicon. Currently we are smelting again silicon, but that's over soon, and then we are smelting copper, and the copper should also go to the right, and then iron comes eventually. That should go to the left. Okay. If I would now stuff the sorter in between here. Just like here. Then I would need a stacker after it. That stacker would be here. Another stacker after it here. And this sorter in this place here, like here-ish, there, yeah, would make sure that we get either copper or silicon, and that would then be stacked up here, and all of that would be fused together once the 500 has been reached and spit out into this guy. Only this would have to be rebuilt slightly, I guess. Maybe I even have to remove the silo, but I don't know. I guess I just left left is exactly enough space, only we can't comfortably walk underneath this guy. The actual problem, I guess the greatest problem of about this whole endeavor is, oh look, we just got some copper in here, is the amount of code lines that I have left the space, you know. And I also have to use named, because the sorters, they need to be separate now. Distinctly separate. I'm thinking about using a subroutine, but then I would have to have two arguments. One argument would identify the sorter, the other argument would identify the material. And also, the first sorter would have to be this inverted mode, so that it... Actually, no, I could use the same mode for both. It doesn't really matter. Okay, that's that then. Two arguments. I don't know if that makes sense. Then we have the headline, the title, basically. Yeah, I think it does make sense because we're also controlling the power. Yeah, let's do that. Let's use a subroutine. Okay. And get it all sorted. And then I have to get another stacker. Fuck my life. How many lines do we have left? Few lines. Too few lines, I think. So let's just refactor this for a subroutine. I will do that externally again. Where is it? There's the deep miner switch stacker. Sorter. Here is that sorter. And I think I reserved a register for the concept of name. And yeah, that makes sense. Register R11. That's very good. Very good. Do I use I defined the sorter hash up there in the code. I'm using that multiple times. Okay. It's fine then. Jump. Deal with sorter. Then we have to deal with sorter subroutine afterwards. Jump RA. Then I move that down. Overall we have like 120 lines now. So when I say deal with sorter, I need that twice. So first I need to define a name, move into register, device name. I guess I could resume doing that in the game, huh? Yeah, okay. So, here, deal with sorter. This was the sorter stuff which I moved into a subroutine. Now I move into the register device name, the hash of, well, 1 and 2. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And since 1 and 2 is already used, which I know it doesn't matter, but that would give the association as if they are on the same side, but I want to make clear that it doesn't matter, that they are not connected. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 is not the same 1 and 2 system. So I'm just using a different name here, A and B. Deal with sorter. So device name. What do we have to do? Deal with stacker. Deal with sorter. Load batch named slot into R0 from any and all sorters who have this name, slot 0 where that's occupied. Then we write batch named into any and all sorters that have this name on R0 accordingly. Now let's deal with the actual thing. Okay, I see here we have a problem. Here I would have to hand over what I actually mean. And I could use R1 for this actually. R1 will then be used here, and R1 is afterwards no longer needed, so later it is fine that I'm using R1 for other purposes. So I can do that. Yeah, and the fact that it's using this inverted sorting, that has no bearing. I just need to make sure that I pick out 1, the rest goes somewhere else. And then again, I pick out 1, the rest goes somewhere else. Only in that scenario, I only will have 2 overall, so it really doesn't matter. What do I have on my clipboard? Device name. Do I need that still? I think so. Load batch name, move this into R0, shift left, blah blah blah. Then load batch named into R1 from any of all sorters that have this device name, the reference ID, and then I'm using absolute addressing to the reference ID. So afterwards, device name will no longer be needed. Now we can use R1 here and cut that out. Yeah, let's leave that in. And where am I calling the sorter thing? Here. How much space do I still have? Enough. Glorious. Move into R1 this, and the second sorter will have copper. Let's say copper. Item copper ingot. Okay, that is the solution. Now I need to give this guy a name because currently he doesn't feel like it has to do anything. Where is it? Oh yeah, up here. Excuse me? I gave you a name, man. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Oh, there's an error. Oh, Device not found at line 115. Oh yeah, okay, that was fine. I hadn't yet named it, and then it was trying to derive the reference ID, and it was addressing that, and then the chip said, dude, that device reference ID, that doesn't exist, and then it got stuck. Now that I made it existent, it was still stuck, because it just had halted. So I restarted the source code, and then it was fine. Now I just need to fuck the other thing into this line here. Does this guy have a name? I think so. Stack ingot. Yeah, maybe I have to name these guys too. What am I currently doing with them? I'm calling a subroutine that says deal with the thing. And I'm currently separating the two of them by type, but that will no longer work once I have three of them. I should be prepared for that scenario. And actually I wonder why we don't have an error currently, an execution error. What's happening? Why is this thing no longer turning off? I mean, currently things are a bit fucked up. That's not fine. I mean, I'm wondering why it's still executing that, because I should have the same error problem also in regards to the second sorter, which isn't there and has absolute reference ID program and such. But for some reason it's not showing that error. I don't know what's going on. The control flow seems to be weird. So, deal with stacker, blub blub blub. Oh, that's stacker. Deal with sorter, la 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 la, jump RA. Sounds good. Maybe I should just call one of them and then be fine. This one is active. This one is not active. Why is this stacker not being addressed anymore? What's happening? Must have made a mistake. Jump start is still there. Also, let's check this stacker logic over here. Is that still doing stuff? It's not. The program died in some form. Not good. And that was when I added the sorter stuff. So let's remove all the sorter stuff then. And see if it executes. This one is no longer being controlled. Yeah, of course, it's a sorter, dumbass. This is not being controlled. Aha, very promising. What about this dude? Also, okay, so the problem is with the sorter somehow. With the sorter logic. Why then? Why is that the case? Move device name #A. Move R1 #item. Okay, item ein ingot. And then J deal with yeah, obviously. I used the wrong call. This was not the subroutine call. And that's also the reason why we didn't get an error afterwards. Because I don't know where the fuck it jumped, but it did jump to some weird place, man. Yeah, that's what can happen. I used the wrong command. It didn't store its current location. This should be working. That is working. This should also be working. It's working. Nice. Yeah, we need to solve the addressing of the stackers. They need to be named also. Not many lines. So deal with the stacker needs to also use the concept of device name now. Yeah, I don't actually know which one is which. That's a bit annoying. Maybe I can just use the rename tool to measure that. Stack ingot. No, I cannot. Rename stacker. Rename stacker. Both of them are just stackers, even though one of them is reversed and one of them is not. So that I would actually consider a Stationeers bug. I mean, why does it say stacker in there? Where's that coming from? It's not quite just a stacker, is it? Okay, there's another thing we can do. I don't know if that works. There is the configuration cartridge, which shows internal values of devices, and I will just fetch that. I don't know if that will help here to tell us which stacker is the reverse one. I can also just use debug tricks, like turn it on, turn it off. Actually, maybe we should do that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, what do I want to do? I want to break free, blah 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 blah. Move device name hash, and what am I supposed to do? I will just use A and B again. Actually, does that make sense? We have two sorters, A and B. I will use X, Y, Z, because we have 3 stackers in the end. X, Y, Z, yeah. Okay. Structure stacker, device name X. Structure stacker reverse, device name Y. And then I have to rename them. And when I do the renaming wrong, they will not react. If I do the renaming right, they will react. That's how we find out. Stacker is X, and stacker reverse is Y. Did you have to reverse that? So, deal with stacker. Load batch. What? Named? Oh, stack ingot. Yeah, okay, that goes away then. Stack ingot is a line that we can kill. Load batch name slot. Plim, plum, plom. That should do the trick. Yeah. And then it will not do anything, but it will also not throw an error. Stacker being dealt with? No. X. Oh. Let's see if that if my prognosis is correct. If I would use Y here, then it has no effect, because combination of device type and name is what does the trick. X. Okay, let's turn this guy on then. And call it Y. Okay. Okay, now we can actually split that up with the next one. I don't have the stacker for it, but certainly have the sorter. Yeah, I forgot to bring a scrubber, actually.
Power low.
Power low also, So I have to break things up a bit here. Let's do that then. Has to be done. So this is the stacker Y, which is the reverse one. Why is it reversed? Yeah. Y is reversed, that's the point. But why? Shut up and die in a fire. Together with your family, friends, and the entire race. Where was I? Logic sorter, that's the one. Then I will have to cable that up correctly, which is over here, and oh my fucking god. It doesn't work! Because there's no cable space here. Oh, that's a problem, because I'm not sure if the junction will work if I move the stacker up. Well, let's just try that then. Oh, what an adventure, huh? And that is X. That's the normal stacker. And that gets the name X. Okay, this one has already been changed, that's good. He is now a vampire, that's fine. Then this one needs to be named B, I believe, because this one is called A, and this one... Yeah, let's do that. Copy. Paste, change to B. And then activate that in the program. Is it active? It is active, okay. So let's get a window shoot here. Okay. Yeah. In principle it should work. It's just a stacker missing. Sure, yeah. So that also has to be programmed eventually. But conceptually it should work. And now I need to test that. So let's first empty everything out. Hey Google, make it stormy. So warm here, man. Here we need a stacker. This is the X stacker, and now we need the Y stacker. You might ask, why do we need that? But just have faith. Stacker, that's the reverse one. I think we will see soon enough. Doesn't actually have to be a reverse one here, but why should I know? Revise the source code. That wouldn't have any good reason. Doesn't do anything because it doesn't have a name yet. It does have a name. Why is it not turning off then? That's a bit disturbing. This stacker is X, and it is also not reacting. What's happening? Oh, we have a problem here. Reacting. Reacting. I guess when the cable was removed and so forth. So this means that if there's some cable problem here, the station here might just keep heating with the heater or the cooling system and so forth. That's always tricky, so this should be kept separate, and I never do that, which is shameful. But on the other hand, I'm trying to get things done. Hey Google, make it windy. Switching to the other fan. Okay, now we need to simulate that something is actually going through these things, and what we should be seeing is... Wait a second. What we should be seeing is that we end up with iron in here stacking up, with copper stacking up here, and here we get a bunch of silicon tossed on the ground. That's what should happen. So let's see if that's what happens. No. Keep that open. And while that is in the works, I will try to get some stacker. Yep. Because the smelting would take some time anyway, so it's not a waste of time, other than my constant back and forth. And yeah, would have been helpful to have an auto lathe up there by now, because I could have made a stacker. I guess a stacker needs iron and copper. I have iron and copper, man. Maybe I should print an auto lathe indeed, and also maybe the scrubber. That would be cool. And while we at it, maybe an arc furnace. A free arc furnace, because then I could just say, hey, shit, I need some gold, but this is not the gold station. Oh, there's gold over there. Brrr, drill it up, toss it in, and we're good. Sounds good. On paper, sounds good on paper. How can something sound good on paper? Oh, I know now, because loudspeaker membranes have classically been made of paper. Oh. Yeah, that's why it sounds good on paper. No, I'm kidding. Is this thing still doing stuff? It is. It needn't. A little drink. And a little shower, because there's so much sweaty water on the bottle. Condensation water. Not from me, no. From the, you know, humidity versus the cold bottle from the fridge. Step 1. Stacker. Step 2. Scrubber. Oh, you can make that with this one? Okay, then make an auto lathe. Which, by the way, takes 2 iron sheets to complete. And the rest is plastic sheets and cables, all of that is present. And the scrubber, I guess, since it's atmospherics, is made with this guy. Scrubber. Portable scrubber. Gold, steel, invar, solder. How much do we need? And afterwards we also need filters for nitrogen and... nitrogen? Why? Because from the big balls of fire here. And CO2 because I'm breathing that out, yeah. And a battery too. Do I even have a battery in that other station? I think so. Maybe I should make 2 more large batteries. I think I've been blowing through these quite a lot. Battery, large, gold, copper, steel. Don't say. That should work. Autolathe, stacker. And here we find a carbon dioxide filter. And a nitrogen filter. Nice, I think we got everything. These are the famous last words before you hear me say the word fuck once more.
Waste tank critical.
I mean, it's all very makeshift, but it's also very working and routine, so yeah. It's a nice start. Still, because we're still at the beginning, remember? Still at the beginning. In a way. Okay. Anything missing? No. I have my filters, I have my energy to... my gas to breathe, waste canister, what is this? Arc welder. Oh. Why is the arc welder? I couldn't even have a battery. What happened there, man? Oh yeah, I was charging the battery, I forgot that up there. It's still in the charger. Okay, then maybe I should not carry a battery in the arc welder, or it doesn't matter, I can, you know. Yep. I think it's close to morning. I mean, it's late here anyway, but that's not the point. I would like to see how full the battery is and how close to morning we actually are. So I will actually take a detour now. I can place some terrain there with the terrain manipulator tool and then mine them away. They're an artifact of the evolution of the moon's map definition. What I was already playing. Same thing. I think the light station should also have an omni transmitter and a beacon. So what's the time and how full is the battery? Not too full, but depends on how late it is, right? Hey, did it just change this moment from 3 to 2, or did I just miss? I think it was 3 when I was further away. Anyway, so night we have solar angle 102. Pretty sure 101 is on the way because I think the night was very long. So yeah. Okay, good to know. So you cannot just add more lights here. That will not work. Did I fetch all the materials? I think so. If I had the hard suit already, I could use the jetpack, and you're pretty fast with that one. But not as fast as with the debug jetpack. Oh my god. The debug jetpack, for those who don't know, you get that, including the debug headlight, when you start Stationeers in terrain edit mode, which is just a click. It's in the menu. So let's see what has been sped out or what has been stacked up. Come on. Look here, okay. So this thing apparently sped out silicon. This thing is stacking up copper. And this thing is stacking up iron. It appears to be working exactly as intended. So what does that mean? It means that... yeah, indeed, what does it mean? I had a question in regards to what can be attached to what, but I think that was resolved temporarily because I had to remove everything anyway. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Arc furnace spits out any and all shit. This one says anything that is not iron shall be sorted aside. Iron goes through here, ends up in that stacker. And from here on, which goes to 500, we just want to stack things up to maximum. And then we want to join it. Here, this sorts anything that is not copper to the side, which ends up being silicon, the only thing that was remaining. Copper goes straight, goes into this stacker. So we have this endpoint and this endpoint. Now we need another endpoint, which, yeah, a bit fucked up. I think I need to swap out this stacker for one that is not reversed and use a reverse one here, but that's an easy thing to change in the source code. If there's still some lines left. Okay. Window. So that would be Z, and Z would have to indeed be reversed. Autolathe, yeah, I'm not quite what I need right now. But thanks. Very thoughtful. And that would be Y. Let's cable them up and then observe that both of them are not reacting. Z because it has not yet been programmed at all. And Y because it's the wrong type. So the combination of type and name doesn't do anything here. Doing anything? Nope. Doing anything? Nope. But soon, soon. Pause. How many lines do we have left? Okay, things are tight, but that should be working still. 3 lines. I have to add 3 lines. We have 3 lines. Oh, that's fortunate then. Can I not delete anything? It's a bit very extreme. I will move this battery line, which is only one single line, up here. So we saved 1 line just now, which is not much, but nice. And here, end. That line shouldn't get lost if I am calculating correctly. Good idea with the different namespaces that I'm using here. That really makes things clearer. So move to R0 structure stacker, reverse, and here just structure stacker. And that should be now, apart from the last chutes towards the silo, the entire facility code. Let's see, does it still do stuff? It does. Is this guy doing something? It is 500. This guy is 500 and is doing stuff. This guy is 500 and doing stuff. So all of that is working as intended. What about the sorter? Is it reacting? Oh man. Seriously? You're not doing that to me now, huh? Oh! You cannot reach it at all? That's a bit wild, excuse me. Okay, I'll just remove this thing then for a second. Yeah, that works. Alright, then let's pipe it up. Let's fuse all of this together. And there's the sun. So the check of the light station was just at the right time. Good way to find out what's what. Corner. Here we need a junction chute. In which direction? That's the question. Let's see, from there, from there, from there. Okay, it's looking good. Neat. Lens flare. Corner. How will I do this now? I wanted to like do it on the ground here, but that would have led to confusing shooting. It's best to, I guess, change the level a bit. Window. Now we need a junction chute again. Looks correct, I think. Yep, up and from the side. Is this logical? From here we come, from here we come, from here we come. Seems correct. Okay. So I will not make a light station today, because I have to go to bed now. But at least this motherfucker is done, finally. And therefore this is now completed. Awesome. Osama Bin Laden. Not funny? Fuck you. So, and then we correct this cable here. Boy, what a building. Scrubby-dooby-doo. Where are you? So that's solved. Now an auto lathe. Didn't I also make an arc furnace? I forgot that again, huh? Shit. Well, it's not important. For now.
Power low.
Alright, we're done. What a rousing success. Nice. Oh, there was an ingot somewhere here. I have that on me, okay. Yeah, let's end this here. Good night. If only I could remember the command. What was the command again?